Portland, beautiful Portland, the port city on Victoria's south coast, home of some spectacular coastline and home of my old-time friend Stan and Viv Radovsky. Dan is the Lutheran pastor at Portland. He and Viv and I go back to seminary days where we were very good friends, and they kindly put me up for a week and a bit. Stan is a keen photographer, and he showed me around to see the sights and gave me lots of encouragement to take lots of pictures. So let's have a look at some of them, shall we? The petrified forest, a bit misnamed because it's not actually a petrified forest but some rather interesting looking rock formations. A bit of the coastline nearby. And then there was the enchanted forest. Starting at the cliffs, you get to look at a bit of the interior, you get to look at the wind farm, and then you start going down the steps and you go down and you go down, looking at some of the brilliant scenery.
What did you say? No.
But then, of course, you had to go up and up. But fortunately, I'm officially a fit cyclist with a piece of paper to prove it. So, what the
Okay.
heck? Then, of course, Volcanic Isle. Nice, hey? And the old lighthouse. Had to have a lighthouse. Then, as the sun began to set on my final night in Portland, it was time to prepare to say farewell. Stan and Viv tried to look suitably sad at my departure, but couldn't quite do it. Maybe I should have said I was staying for another week.
Yep, that'll do.
So, departure time. We're leaving Portland, noting the heavy traffic. Then came some relief. A strawberry farm with a pummet of strawberries and some ice cream. Yum. And even more yum. And then onwards to Haywood, onwards and upwards, climbing higher and higher. Onwards to Haywood, and no, there was no Godzilla attack, but I attacked a thick shake. Yum! I was so tempted to stay at Haywood, land of thick shakes, of soft drinks, but wisdom told me it was time to press on until at the evening I wound up at the pub at Conda. So here I am at a place called Conda, Condah. Yes, I'd never heard of that place either before yesterday, but anyway, today is Thursday the 8th of August. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm settling down to some ramen for breakfast. Well, I arrived here at Conda yesterday, did 52 kilometres and pulled into the pub here. They don't do accommodation here, but I was welcome to sleep under the veranda. See, here is where I slept. It was fairly cold. As far as I can tell, about 5 or 6 degrees. It's still pretty nippy today. Day I was done and some crummy weather was rolling in, and so I decided to book into a motel. I had a rest day, and then it was time to press on again northwards up towards Horsham. So it is now Saturday, I think the 10th of August. I'm about to leave Hamilton. It's a foggy morning and fairly chilly. The good news is, of course, once the fog lifts up, that usually means it's going to be a nice sunny day, which is something to look forward to. Anyway, I was doing some packing, and I realised somewhere along the line I have lost my tent pegs. Fortunately, I managed to replace some with these little aluminium things that hopefully will keep me out of trouble until I can reunite with my original tent pegs. And meanwhile, I had a nice downhill run to kick the morning off. Always appreciated on the bike, but I tell you what, in this fog, brrr, flaming cold. Anyway, let's keep moving. Well, I got into Balmoral. Try again. I got into Cavendish this afternoon. I called in on the Bridge Cafe to have an ice cream and a banana thick shake. Yum yum. But even better was being able to get a copy of the article from the Portland newspaper, which I've got for the archives. And then I called into the pub for a pint of Moonduffer beer. Very nice. And they also do a coffee flavoured stout, which is also very nice. So at this point, it is now something like about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. And it is definitely time for me to push off. 3 o'clock, definitely. I have done well. Yes, Cavendish is a pretty little spot, and I recommend both the cafe and the pub and some of the scenery around there, including this old railway bridge, or what's left of it. So I just had a couple of good incidents here going up the Henty Highway. As I speak, I've done 43 kilometres for the day. And one of the locals saw me checking my maps and things and stopped and asked if I was okay. And yes, I was. And this lady suggested the Morella Golf Club. Anyway, just now I was pedalling along and a policeman came down from the north end, and he stopped and checked if I was okay and had a good 5 minutes chat with him, just telling him my plans. And he's also said it should be okay to camp under the clubhouse at the golf club down the road a bit. So yeah, it's looking good. Look, I did want to crack the 60, but I reckon I'll be content with the 50 if I've got a good place to just roll out my sleeping gear, have a bit of tucker and bed down. I reckon, yeah, should look good. So yes, Morella Golf Club did turn out to be a place to bed down for the night. Cold, but okay. The next day's riding brought lots of attention from the Major Mitchell cockatoos.
Hello, birdies.
The last known camping site here at Cherrypool gave me that painful choice: do I bed down for the night or do I press on further? Fortunately, I took the latter option, and so I earned the bragging rights as I made it to Horsham, having done 80 kilometres that day. I rode on into the sunset and the darkness until I arrived at the home of my old friends from my Minyip days, Dale and Chris Petering, and so here I am for a few days, enjoying their hospitality. So here I am in Horsham. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to do the click, like and subscribe stuff. And if you find the link down below in the description, you too can shout me a beer, or you can shout me a meal. Or what the heck, you can even buy me a house if you really want to. But anyway, thanks for watching Fronts Horizons, and see you next time when I will be trekking north from Horsham, checking over the old stomping ground in Minyip and beyond, eventually up to Mildura. So meanwhile, keep well. Bye, Fronts Horizons.